Hello everyone, this is Rebecca from Papeterie de Choix and welcome to File Folder Friday. Today's project is a simple little thing. It's a matchbook style folio. I made mine to open like a regular book. It's got this tiny little signature inside of it. With just some plain coffee dyed paper that I had a big sheet. I've got a big paper pack that is 8.5 by 14 and I had dyed some of it, so I just folded up a sheet and put well, half a sheet actually, and put that in here, and so it just closes like a matchbook. However, you can have it open like the old-timey matchbooks, and they might actually still make them, I really don't know, but you could have it open this way and use it this way as well. Just, you know, personal preference, but I like the idea of it being just this little booklet. So this is what we're going to do today, and basically I just used a scrap piece, well, get that back in there, a scrap piece of file folder and some small scraps from some scrapbook paper to cover it, and then just these two little bitty things that kind of went with the paper. But this measures, the whole thing measures 3 and let's say 5/8 wide, finished that is, and 4 1/4 tall. So let me get my materials together and we'll make one. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is a trimmer and a piece of a file folder, and you want to cut your file folder down to 4 1/4 inches tall, and I realize that this is a little bit bigger than what my shot my camera space is, but basically you want a piece of card, a piece of file folder that is 4 1/4 inches tall, and then 7 3/4 inches long. So 7 3/4 there, and if I can keep it still long enough to actually trim it. Alright, and then that's all for the trimmer, and then bring in your scoreboard and lay it in. Now it doesn't matter in the scoring whether you do it like I did this one as a booklet or this way. The scoring doesn't matter. What matters is how you decorate it and the papers you put on it, which way, whether they are portrait or landscape, as to which way you want them. But so first we're going to score at 3. So 3, and then 3 1/8, which would be the next mark to the right. Well, assuming that your scoreboard goes this way. And then we're going to score at 6 3/4. And that's it for the scoring. Now, what I'm going to do now is come in and just ink my edges real quick, and I just put ink in my little thing here, and it's very, very, very juicy. So if you want to ink, then go ahead and ink your edges now. If you don't want to ink, you can go ahead and be cutting your paper sizes. Now, they just need to be a little bit smaller. I didn't make measurements for them, but they just need to be a little bit smaller so that you can have some edge showing for your front and this strip and then the back. Now, I didn't put any on the inside, but you could if you wanted to, and you could even make a little pocket maybe if you wanted to, but I didn't want to do that, so I just made mine plain. So if you don't want to ink, you can go ahead and be figuring out what size you want your decorative paper to be. But I'm just going to ink this real quick, and then on this would be my outside, so on my inside I'm going to ink these. Okay, and then I'm going to fold. This is going to be where the staple goes. I'm going to ink this part and the back of it, and then you want to fold over those little two marks, so this gives you your little bitty spine for your little paper pad. Now I first cut 2 of these because I was going to put the whole thing in this one, but 2 of them was just a little bit too thick, so I just took half of it out. So what I have is, I think it's 4 pages, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4, and so that gives me plenty of space in here. But the next thing I'm going to do, before I curl it back up, I'm just going to put a little ink on those 2 little edges, and there it is, inked up. So now I'm going to be doing mine this way, I'm going to do mine the same way as I did the other one, but and I pulled out this piece of scrap paper to do it with. So what I'm going to do now is measure, and I'm going to get my little trimmer, I think, for this, just so it don't take up so much space. So this front piece here, if you did exactly the same as this is 3 inches. So I want mine to be just a little bit smaller than that, and then it's 4 1/4. So I'm going to do 2 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to come over this way, 2 3/4, which is this mark right here. In fact, before I do that, I'm going to trim off this little bitty section right here that don't have any words on it. Okay, now let's do that again. So 2 3/4 there. And then 4 inches. So there is the piece for the front, like so. And then the back will also be 4 inches, but it will be, that's 3 1/2, so I'm going to do 3 1/4. So I'm going to trim this one down a little bit too and get a little bit of that blank space off, and just so I can get the writing. So 3 1/4, is that what I said? 3 1/4. And then 4. There we go. And then this is for the back here. And then when you close it up, you're going to have staples, a staple along about here and here. So you, on this one, I put the staples in and then did this, because I did it as a prototype first and then decorated it. So I don't mind how this looks here. I think it looks better with the staples in this part than in the paper, but you do whichever you want. You can make this wide enough that the staples go in it, or you can make it narrow so that the staples show. I might do this one different and actually make the staples show. So this piece is 1 inch, and my little strip on here is 3/4. So I guess to get it so that the staples would show, I need it to be about 7/8. So, and I want to use this little flowery part here. Now, this little thing doesn't have 8s, it only has 1/4. So I'm going to try to split that difference right there with this, and let's see how that's going to look. It didn't leave much room, but I think it'll work. Now, it needs to be 4 inches in total, and I'm going to put, I want my flower kind of in the middle. So I'm going to do that right there, and then turn it around and cut it at 4. That's sort of kind of in the middle. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just ink these little edges. And yeah, I wish I hadn't overfilled my little ink pad. It's very, very juicy. So let me just do all of these. This is actually a pretty quick project, and this would be good for a mass make if you wanted to do a lot of these. And plus, they can also be done in any size. They can be, you know, like actual matchbook size from back in the olden days, or you know, you can make it double the size if you wanted to, or tall and skinny. This is just the size I thought would be good for this project. And it's also good as to slip into a pocket in a journal, or it be a little standalone project. Okay. So let me move my trash out of the way here so I can see what I'm doing. It needs to go this way. And make sure my text is right side up. And just in case, I know it's not the best in the world, but it'll do, I suppose. And I'm gonna refrain from complaining about the glue. Okay, and then let me just go around the edge with this little bit of glue. Like I said in a project a couple of days ago, I just don't trust this glue stick all by itself. Now, I better pay attention to what I'm doing. It's going to go this way and this way, so I need the writing to be this way. And it needs to be a little bit further down. Not quite there yet. Okay. Alright, don't do it just yet. I need a little bit more time. Well, okay. Now I'm going to step over here to the iron and press this so it'll stick and I won't have to worry about it coming up. Okay. Now, the big one. And if I kind of watch what I'm doing with using the regular PVA on the very outside, I can use this glue stick and not get it over the edge if I'm careful. The operative word there is if I'm careful. And around the edge and up the edge. Okay. Now the key is going to be to line it up with this one we've already got so that it looks even. This side needs to come down just a touch. Okay, that suits me. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, not bad. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Just down and around and up. What is the phrase? Up, down, and all around? Or something to that. Or as my parents say, they do it as a joke. They say big at the little and bottom at the top. So yeah, this is big at the little and bottom at the top. Sorta. My mom is full of sayings that she always says backwards. When I was growing up, my mother's always concerned about the temperature outside. But when I was young, still living at home, she would always tell Daddy, go outside and see what time it is. And that we had wood heat growing up. And she'd say, fill the wood up with heater. Yeah, my mama. She's very funny. She don't try to be funny, but she is funny. She's one of those people that when she tries to be funny, it goes over like a lead balloon. But when she's not trying to be funny, she's hilarious. Okay. My sister, on the other hand, should have been a stand-up comedian. She's always funny. Okay, I'm going to press it, and I'm going to bring back my stapler. Alright, well there we've got the bones of it. Now, we're going to get us a needle and a thread. And see if we can get it to cooperate going through this needle. Alright, now we're not having any of this. And it said, you want to bet? Come on now. Don't you do this to me. Ha! Alright, then we're going to take our little booklet, figure out which way you want it to be, up or down. I think I want this way is up. Now on little ones like this, I usually just eyeball it. I don't measure. But basically I want to go in about a 1/2 inch-ish. That's a little more than half. And about the same here. Now I'm going to lay that in there, inside that little groove that we made, and get it where I want it. And okay, and then I'm just going to go through the whole thing. Okay, now on the other one I wanted the tie on the outside, and I see that I made my hole just slightly out, because it's supposed to be in the middle of that, not in the crease exactly. And by the time I get through with it, it might have more than one hole in it. Okay. So when you do this, make sure your hole is in the middle of the little, where you put the 1/8 marks, instead of poking multiple holes like I just did. And then just come back in here and come back in here. And tie you a knot. You want it nice and firm, and if it don't hurt if your paper bubbles just slightly, like you see this, because if you're like me, when you hold it with your finger, even if holding it with your finger, it's going to relax a little bit, and that will be fine. And I always put just an extra knot, just to be on the safe side there. Okay, so there's that and there's that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, I don't know if you can see, but you can see that we've got roughly a 1/2 inch, maybe a touch less, between the edge of the paper and the fold here. So we want that staple to come in about 1/8 of an inch. There. on either side. And now it opens like a matchbook. Now, got some of these little flowery things that I have over there. That's got music paper on it. That one's got writing on it. I think I'm going to go with the writing since it's got writing on it. Let's see if we can fluff it up a little bit. And I'm going to come in and just put a little ink over it, over the edges a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop that down here with some glue. And just make sure that all the ones that I put glue on are in contact with the paper underneath. Okay, now it will take that just a little bit to dry, so I won't open it again. But, okay, I'm going to clean off my area and we'll take a look at what we've made. Alright, so we've got a couple little cute matchbook folios here that would be good to put in any journal, stick in your purse, maybe make it a grocery list or whatever. And because you sewed this in, you can always take the papers out and replace them if you want to. But yeah, and a very good mask make project. So hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in another video very soon.